All right, hey, we're trying it again here. iPhone 8, new YouTube Live. Let's give it a try. I think I should be able to answer some Q&A here after this. So let me go over my spiel again here. So off the bat, antibiotic resistance. That was kind of my big spiel. I'm going to see if we hit it here. So if someone's hitting in live again, this may be the third time, but let's dig in. Antibiotic resistance, major issue these days. Why? Number one, antibiotics are being overprescribed. That's a big one. Number two, 80% of the antibiotics that we're getting exposed to are going to be via animal products. So the conventional meat and the conventional dairy and all those foods. Pesticides can have antibiotic types of features as well. So the big issues are we're getting exposed to it. It's affecting our gut microbiome balance. It's taking and knocking down all of the good and bacteria. It's also having a major effect on beneficial flora. Beneficial flora help keep in check all of the bad stuff here as well, which is really important. So we need healthy gut bacteria to keep in check all of the fungus and all of the yeast. So when we knock down everything, we tend to have the weeds going back automatically, right? That's kind of the go-to. So we really want to make sure we use antibiotics intelligently for life and death situations, for really important emergencies. It's very important. Number two is antibiotics have major effects on the mitochondria. Mitochondria is important because that's the powerhouse of the cell where we generate a lot of energy. We want to make sure that we have healthy mitochondria so energy is good and that you have the ability to generate healthy B vitamins through gut flora, healthy vitamin K, which is really good for bones and cardiovascular. We also want to make sure that we have energy, that we have our immune system is not being, let's just say, constantly having to rise to the occasion because leaky gut and because of food allergens and because of poor enzymes and poor acid levels. So we really want to make sure all those things are dialed in. Let me dig in here and see if I can grab some questions. Hey Cynthia, thanks for your messages there. Gerald writes in, what's the difference between grass-fed beef and grass-pastured beef? I think it's the same thing. The big thing you'd want to look at is grass-finished or grass-fed. A lot of times cows will be fed grass their whole entire life except the very end, and they'll go to, let's say, a slaughterhouse where they're going to feed them a whole bunch of grain to fatten them up. That's what you'd want to look for. Make sure that that's not being done. So you want 100% grass-fed or grass-fed and grass-finished. Hope that helps there for you guys. See, anything else? Any other questions pop in? Feel free and let me know here. So yeah, outside of that, we talked about a lot of these foods that we're getting exposed to have antibiotics in it. That throws a lot of these gut bacterial balances off. That increases chances for things like yeast infections, UTIs, bacterial vaginosis. Typically, when you affect the gut bacteria in the gut, you also kind of plays in, it has an effect on the vaginal canal as well. And when we shift the pH, it increases chances like things like E. coli overgrowing. It increases chances of candida and yeast overgrowing, and then these things can create UTI infections. You have the Gardnerella kind of bacteria, which can increase the chance of bacterial vaginosis. All of these are not so good things. Let's see if I can grab some of these questions here, guys. What do we got? All right. What do you think about eating 300 to 400 grams of starchy carbs per day to gain muscle mass? I'm looking to gain 10 pounds. Yeah, if the demand's up and if you're active enough, that may make sense for sure. On keto, not losing weight. Hold on, where did it go? See if I can find this back here, guys. On keto, on keto, not for weight loss, for mind and health benefits. My fasting insulin's below 1. Fasting glucose is 72 to 74. Is this bad? I would say probably not, as long as you feel okay and as long as your adrenals are doing okay and they have enough healthy cortisol levels. I don't have a problem with that, but I just want to check in with you and make sure symptomatically things are okay. All right, let me go back there. There's another question here. See, Dale says, I still have eczema flare on my right lower leg. Would an ice bath help? I mean, it would definitely lower inflammation. I want to figure out maybe what drove the eczema flare. So if it's food, or in Dale's case, maybe some mold base, there could be an issue there. So I'd want to use things like peppermint, maybe some coconut, see if that helps calm it down. You could also do, yeah, lavender could be helpful. Coconut, these are good things. Give that a try, see how that goes. Is it possible to get any discounts on the GI mat? It's so expensive. Yeah, typically, unless you have insurance. If you have an insurance and you met your deductible, then that may be an option for you. Dairy, yeah, dairy can be an issue, especially if there's autoimmune stuff going on. That can be a problem for sure, guys, 100%. Is Endolimex Nana a pathogenic parasite? Well, it definitely can cause symptoms. Some people will say it's not, but I've seen that to be the opposite. Nora, I chatted with you today. Great chatting with you again. Dr. J, what's the type of exercise you recommend if my cortisol levels are too high all day? Oh yeah, you did it. Very high cortisol today. I would do more restorative things to help. Walking, yoga, those kind of things I think would be great. I wouldn't do anything that really got you super revved up. But I think if you did resistance training, 15, 20 minutes, I think you'd be okay with that as well. I just wouldn't go too long on the exercise. Let's see here. Jill writes in, I have PCOS with no weight or hair or acne issues, only irregular periods, insist any herbs I can take to help my cycle. Yeah, so PCOS, number one, I get the blood sugar stuff under control first. You mentioned you're on keto, so that's a really good thing. It sounds like that should take care of it. The only thing else I would use some herbs to help with the female cycle. So I would look at using potential maca and chaste to help with hormone regulation. And you may even benefit by adding in a little bit of progesterone correctly as well. Hey Monica, what's the word on Greek yogurt? I can't have casein. Yeah, I mean, I think if you've done an elimination diet fully and you've really gone through it and you've pulled the dairy out and you've added in some Greek yogurt that's going to be, kind of sour, so to speak, have good bacteria, the bacteria ferments or eats up all that lactose, you may do okay. Give it a try. Hope that helps, Nora. Take care, Dale. Have a good weekend. Any other question, guys, let me know. I'm going to roll over to my dry erase board there in the corner and get pound out another video here for you guys to get some more information. So if you have another idea, another show topic you want me to talk about, let me know. Joe writes, is Kerrygold grass-fed butter okay to have if you are dairy sensitive? Number one, I'd be off all dairy and do an autoimmune template for at least a month, number one. I'd add back in ghee first, see if you can tolerate that first. If you can't tolerate ghee, then I would not go to grass-fed butter. If you can tolerate ghee, then I would go to grass-fed butter and see how you do. I have a PEMT plus or minus variant. Do you recommend choline? I'm not sure what PEMT stands for. If you tell me the abbreviation, I may be able to help you. I imagine that's, I don't even want to guess it. Let me know. How about glucosamine for shoulder injury? I think glucosamine is great. It's a GAG. It's a glycosaminoglycan. Yeah. And then we have collagens also in that same glycosaminoglycan family, GAGs for short. Say that 10 times fast. So yeah, totally helpful. Of course, get the inflammation figured out. If there's a shoulder injury because of a chronic type of, physical kind of thing, get that issue fixed. Get to the root mechanism. If it's like an acute thing like a car accident or you fell, then I wouldn't worry about it. I get the soft tissue done and I would get the nutrients to help work on getting that better. Hope that makes sense, guys. Anything comes in here, I'll answer it. If not, I'm going to jump onto my board and get some more knowledge bombs down. All right, here. Oh, Bonesburg, great. Awesome. Hope that helps, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. Oh, DHEA, more important than fish oil for ADHD. Very important. DHEA is really important for the brain health, neurological inflammation for sure. Get the artificial dyes out. Get the blood sugar dialed in. Eat every 4 or 5 hours. Have a solid breakfast. Have healthy proteins and fats. Something else I forgot to ask is having intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Can that be treated without knowing exactly what kind of? Yes, it can be. There's specific herbs that you can do that we'll talk about, Nora, that we have great success with on knocking these things down. And I remember we didn't have a ton of bacteria show up on your test, so we may have to use a breath test to quantify it later on. But let's just see how you do first and see if we can get some of those digestive symptoms under control. And thank you so much, Kratos, for that feedback. I appreciate the good words, guys. Hey, y'all have a great weekend. I'll try to get another video up for you tonight. Take care, y'all. Bye.